Shalom, and welcome back to the Cepher Daily Readings. We left off in Exodus, Shemoth, chapter 4, and we will pick up in chapter 5. But before we begin, let's review chapters 1 through 4. So in the beginning of Exodus, we have that the children of Yasharel are now in Egypt, because in Genesis chapter 50, the last chapter, it ends with the death of Jacob, Jacob, whose name was changed to Yasharel, Israel, and also the death of his son, Joseph, who was the governor of Mitzrayim, Egypt. And so they both have passed on. And so you have the nation of Yasharel, the descendants of Yasharel, who have gone down into Egypt because there was a famine in the land of Canaan where they had been dwelling. They head down to Egypt and they start to multiply. And in the beginning of Exodus, it gives the names of the children of Yasharel that had gone down into Mitzrayim, Egypt. And so it says here in verse 2 of Exodus chapter 1, Reuben, Simon, Levi, Yehuda, Issachar, Zebulun, Benjamin, Dan, Naphtali, Gad, and Asher, all the souls that came out of Jacob, not including, well, of course, including Joseph, but he was already in Mitzrayim. And the total amount of souls that headed down into Mitzrayim, 70 souls. They're in Mitzrayim, they're in Egypt. What's happening? They're multiplying. They are fruitful. There is a new Pharaoh, a Pharaoh who did not know Joseph, or did not care to honor the relationship or the stature of Joseph. He sees what's happening with the nation of Yasharel, how they are being fruitful and they're multiplying. So he's concerned that they're going to become so mighty that they will overcome him and his ilk, the Egyptians. So what does he do? He puts taskmasters over them, enslaves them. He even tells the midwives to kill the male infants. As soon as they're born, if it's a male, kill the child. If it's a female, allow the child to live. Well, the midwives, they don't. And much to his chagrin, he's demands to know, why haven't you followed my commandment? And the midwife says, these Hebrew women are not like Egyptian women. They are lively and they give birth before we could even get there. So the decree is still set, though. It's still established that all male children shall be killed. So now let's go to chapter 2. There is a man out of the house of Levi, out of the tribe of Levi, and he and the woman, they conceive a child, and who ends up being Moses. But because of this decree of killing the male child, his mother, verse 3, she took an ark of bulrushes and daubed it with slime and with pitch, and put the child therein, and set him off onto the river's bank. And so his sister stands afar off to watch how he's going down the river. And that's when the daughter of Pharaoh finds him. And she realizes, the daughter of Pharaoh knows that it's a Hebrew child. This is a child of the Hebrews. And remember, Hebrew comes from Iber. So if you go back into the previous readings and you go into, or just go to Genesis chapter 10, that's the table of nations, and you will see where Eber is one of the descendants of Shem, and that's where Hebrew comes from. Okay, so the daughter of Pharaoh realizes this is a Hebrew child, but she already loves the child and adopts him. But she asks his sister to go fetch his mother, and she actually she enters into an arrangement with Moses' mother that the mother cares for him, nurses him, and the daughter of Pharaoh says that she would actually give her wages for that. So he grows up in Pharaoh's home, and so he is now come of age, and he comes upon an Egyptian, a Mitzri, abusing an Ivri, a Hebrew, and so he strikes the Mitzri, the Egyptian, and kills him. And so then, unbeknownst to him, he doesn't think anyone knows of it. So then Now let's go to another episode. He witnesses two Hebrew men in conflict, striving with each other. He tries to de-escalate it and says, what's going on here? Why are you doing this? And so one of the Hebrew men says, who are you? Who are you to try to even intervene? Are you going to kill me or strike me like you did the Egyptian? And that's when Moses realizes, whoa, people know. And Pharaoh learns of it, and now Pharaoh now wants to slay Moses. So Moses flees, and he goes to the land of Midian, and this is where he ends up meeting his wife, Zipporah, and her father, Reuel. He's also known as Jethro. Okay, so now Moses has two sons by Zipporah, Gershom and Eliezer. And let's just go to now where Moses is called upon by the Most High, Yahuwah. Yahuwah says that he hears the cries of his people back in Egypt. They're crying out, and they're afflicted, and they're in slavery, they're in bondage. And Pharaoh, he is merciless. The taskmasters are merciless. And so when the Most High's people cry out, that's when he answers. And so here is the answer. He's going to use Moses to bring relief to his people. And so Moses, this is a great conversation between Moses and the Most High. Moses is asking, why me? I'm not eloquent in speech. I am slow in speech. And Most High is reassuring him, saying, I'll be with you. I'll give you the words. I'll give you the tools. You'll be performing miracles. And Moses is still doubtful to the point where it annoys Yahuwah. And so he tells him, okay, you have Aaron. Aaron is eloquent in speech. Use Aaron. And so there's also a moment when Moses goes to his father and tells him, what he's been commanded with, and he's going to go back to Egypt. And so he goes, his father-in-law gives him his blessing, and Moses takes his woman, and he takes his children. And on the road, this is chapter 4 now of Exodus, verse 24. And it came to pass by the way in the inn that Yahuwah met him and sought to kill him. Then Zipporah took a sharp stone and cut off the foreskin of her son and cast it at his feet and said, surely a bloody man you are to me. So he let him go. Then she said, a bloody man you are because of the circumcision. I read this last night for yesterday's reading, and I could not understand what happened there. I understood that what Zipporah did to her son, she circumcised him. I wasn't sure of which son she circumcised, and there's something seemed to be missing. So I went to the book of Jasher this morning. First, I took this to the Most High Yah. When you have questions, you have a decision to make, always take it to the Father first. Seek his counsel. Yes, we have those that we go to, our spouses, our parents, our best friends, siblings, even clergymen. But I would advise you to take it to the Most High Yah, the one true El first. Seek his counsel first. And that's what I did. I asked for understanding and for discernment. Something is missing. What happened there? And so soon after that, I just happened to go to the book of Jasher. It was the first book I went to. So in Jasher chapter 78, verse 7, this is going to be the backdrop to what transpired in Exodus chapter 4, verse 24. So Jasher, also Yasher, verse 7. In those days, Moshe, the son of Amram in Midian, took Zipporah, the daughter of Reuel, the Midianite, for a woman. And Zipporah walked in the ways of the daughters of Yaakov. She was nothing short of the righteousness of Sarah, Rivkah, Rachel, and Leah. And Zipporah conceived and bore a son, and he called his name Gershom, for he said, I was a stranger in a foreign land. But he circumcised not his foreskin at the command of Reuel, his father-in-law. And she conceived again and bore a son, but circumcised his foreskin and called his name Eliezer. For Moshe said, because the Elohim of my fathers was my help and delivered me from the sword of Pharaoh. So, 2 sons. The firstborn was not circumcised. Well, let's go to Genesis chapter 10. Genesis chapter 17, verse 9. And Elohim said unto Abraham, you shall guard my covenants, therefore, you and your seed after you in their generations. This is my covenant, which you shall guard, between me and you and your seed after you. Every male child among you shall be circumcised, and you shall circumcise the flesh of your foreskin, and it shall be a sign of the covenant betwixt me and you. And he that is 8 days old shall be circumcised among you, every male child in your generations, he that is born in the house, or bought with money of any stranger, which is not of your seed. He that is born in your house, and he that is bought with your money, must be circumcised, and my covenant shall be in your flesh for an everlasting covenant. And the uncircumcised male child, whose flesh of his foreskin is not circumcised, that soul shall be cut off from his people. He has broken my covenant. So Sephora, her firstborn Gershom, is not circumcised because of the advice of her father, Reuel, also known as Jethro. So Yahuwah was going to kill Gershom. And so Sephora right away takes this stone and circumcises her son to save him. And furthermore, let's go to Jasher 79, verse 8. And Moshe rose up to go to Mitzrayim and took his woman and his sons with him. And he was at an inn in the road. And the angel of Elohim came down and sought an occasion against him. And he wished to kill him on account of his firstborn son, because he had not circumcised him. Forgive me, I need to make a correction. He was not going to, Yahuwah, the angel of Elohim, was not going to kill the son. He was going to kill Moses, because Moses had not had his firstborn circumcised. And so in verse 9, and he wished to kill him on account of his firstborn son, because he had not circumcised him, and had transgressed the covenant which Yahuwah had made with Abraham. For Moshe had hearkened to the words of his father-in-law, which he had spoken to him, not to circumcise his firstborn son. Therefore he circumcised him not. And Sephora saw the angel of Yahuwah seeking an occasion against Moshe. And she knew that this was owing to his not having circumcised her son Gershom. And Sephora hastened and took of the sharp rock stones that were there, and she circumcised her son, and delivered her man and her son from the hand of the angel of Yahuwah. It just seemed random reading it in Exodus chapter 4, verse 24. And so Yasher chapter 78 chapter 78 and 79 fill in those gaps. And then it's also supported the reason for the circumcision. We can go back to Genesis chapter 17. There was the covenant that Yahuwah made with Abraham. Okay, so that's where we end off with chapter 4. Go to Exodus, Shemoth, chapter 5. And afterward, Moshe and Aaron went in and told Pharaoh, Thus says Yahuwah, Elohai of Yasharel, Let my people go, that they may hold a feast unto me in the wilderness. And Pharaoh said, Who is Yahuwah, that I should obey his voice to let Yasharel go? I know not Yahuwah, neither will I let Yasharel go. And they said, The Elohai of the Ivreim has met with us. Let us go, we pray you, 3 days' journey into the desert. and sacrifice unto Yahuwah Eloheinu, lest he fall upon us with pestilence or with the sword. And the king of Mitzrayim said unto them, Wherefore do you, Moshe and Aaron, let the people from their works? Get you unto your burdens. And Pharaoh said, Behold, the people of the land now are many, and you make them rest from their burdens. And Pharaoh commanded the same day the taskmasters of the people and their officers, saying, You shall no longer give the people straw to make brick, as heretofore. Let them go and gather straw for themselves. And the tally of the bricks which they did make heretofore, you shall lay upon them. You shall not diminish aught thereof. For they be idle. Therefore they cry, saying, Let us go and sacrifice to our Elohim. Let their more work be laid upon the men, that they may labor therein, and let them not regard vain words. And the taskmasters of the people went out, and their officers, and they spoke to the people, saying, Thus says Pharaoh, I will not give you straw. Go, get your straw where you can find it. Yet not aught of your work shall be diminished. So the people were scattered abroad throughout all the land of Mitzrayim to gather stubble instead of straw. And the taskmasters hasted them, saying, Fulfill your works, your daily tasks, as when there was straw. And the officers of the children of Yasharel, which Pharaoh's taskmasters had set over them, were beaten and demanded, Wherefore you have not fulfilled your task in making brick both yesterday and today, as heretofore? So what has happened here? Moses and Aaron are talking to Pharaoh, asking for the people to be let go for a 3 days journey. And Pharaoh is so incensed. One, he says he doesn't even know Yahuwah, who is Yahuwah, the Most High. And because of the audacity of Moses and Aaron to even speak to him and make us and to even put in this request, he takes it out on the people and makes their lives even more difficult. And so he's saying, okay, they will have to gather their own straw before the straw would be given to them for them to carry out their daily tasks. Well, now they have to gather their own straw, but their quotas will not be diminished. So think about it. Now you have an additional item or task added to your daily chores, but you still have to have the same output. So it's more rigor, and there's more of a burden on them. And so, and the, people are being beaten and just being hasted. And so Pharaoh just makes their condition even worse. So it's a hardening of his heart. So now verse 15, Then the officers of the children of Yasharel came and cried unto Pharaoh, saying, Wherefore deal you thus with your servants? There is no straw given unto your servants. And they say to us, Make bricks, and behold, your servants are beaten, but the fault is in your own people. But he said, You are idle. You are idle. Therefore you say, Let us go and to sacrifice to Yahuwah. Go therefore now and work, for there shall no straw be given you, yet shall you deliver the tally of bricks. And the officers of the children of Yasharel did see that they were in evil case. And it was said, You shall not minish aught from your bricks of your daily task. And they met Moshe and Aaron, who stood in the way, as they came forth from Pharaoh. And they said unto them, Yahuwah, look upon you and judge, because you have made our Savior to be abhorred in the eyes of Pharaoh, and in the eyes of his servants, to put a sword in their hand to slay us. And Moshe returned unto Yahuwah and said, Adonai, wherefore have you so evil entreated this people? Why is it that you have sent me? For since I came to Pharaoh to speak in your name, he has done evil to these people. Neither have you delivered your people at all. So Moshe, he's looking at this situation as, Yahuwah, you said you would be with me. You've only made matters worse for the people. So what is going on? Now let's go to chapter 6. Then Yahuwah said unto Moshe, Now shall you see what I will do to Pharaoh. Gotta trust the Most High. Gotta trust his plan. For with a strong hand shall he let them go, and with a strong hand shall he drive them out of his land. And Elohim spoke unto Moshe and said unto him, I am Yahuwah. And I appeared unto El Abraham, unto El Yitzhak, and unto El Yaakov, by El Shaddai, and my name Yahuwah, but I was not known. And I have also established my covenants with them, to give them the land of Canaan, the land of their pilgrimage, wherein they were strangers. And I have also heard the groaning of the children of Yasharel, whom the Mitzrayim keep in bondage. And I have remembered my covenant. Wherefore say unto the children of Yasharel, I am Yahuwah, and I will bring you out from under the burdens of the Mitzrayim, and I will rid you out of their bondage, and I will redeem you with a stretched out arm and with great judgments. Redeem. Remember, the word redeem means to save. Again, and I will redeem you with a stretched out arm and with great judgments. Verse 7. And I will take you to me for a people, and I will be to you Elohim, and you shall know that I am Yahuwah Elohim, which brings you out from under the burdens of the Mitzrayim. And I will bring you in unto the land concerning the which I did swear to give it to Abraham, to Yitzhak, and to Yaakov. And I will give it to you for a heritage. I am Yahuwah. Amen. And Moshe spoke so unto the children of Yasharel, but they hearkened not unto Moshe for anguish of the Ruach. So the Ruach, remember, that means spirit. The anguish of their spirit, and for the cruel bondage that they were under. And Yahuwah spoke unto Moshe, saying, Go in, speak unto Pharaoh, king of Mitzrayim. Then he let the children of Yasharel go out of his land. And Moshe spoke before Yahuwah, saying, Behold, the children of Yasharel have not hearkened unto me. How then shall Pharaoh hear me, who am of uncircumcised lips? And Yahuwah spoke unto El Moshe and unto El Aaron, and gave them a charge unto the children of Yasharel, and unto Pharaoh, king of Mitzrayim, to bring the children of Yasharel out of the land of Mitzrayim. These be the heads of their fathers' houses, the sons of Reuben, the firstborn of Yasharel, Hanok and Palu, Hetzron and Kami. These be the families of Reuben. And the sons of Shimon, Yemuel, and Yamin, and Ohad, and Yakin, and Sochar, and Shaul, the son of a Canaanite woman. These are the families of Shimon. And these are the names of the sons of Levi according to their generations: Gershon, and Kohath, and Merari. And the years of the lives of Levi were 137 years. The sons of Gershon, Livni, and Shimei, according to their families. And the sons of Kohath, Amram, and Yitzhar, and Hebron, and Uziel. And the years of the life of Kohath were 133 years. And the sons of Merari, Machili, and Mushi. These are the families of Levi according to their generations. And Amram took him Jochebed, his father's sister, to be his woman. And she bore him Aaron and Moshe. And the years of the life of Amram were 137 years. So these last several verses goes back in time and gives a genealogy of the sons of Yasharel. And so we get to the birth of Aaron and Moshe. So we get to see their genealogy right here. Verse 21. And the sons of Yitzhar, Korach, and Nepheg, and Zikri, and the sons of Uziel, Mishael, and Elitzaphan, and Sitri. And Aaron took him Elisheba, daughter of Aminadab, sister of Nachshon, to be his woman. And she bore him Nadab, and Abihu, Eleazar, and Ithamar. And the sons of Korach, Asir, and Elkanah, and Abi Asaph. These are the families of the Korachi. And Eleazar, Aaron's son, took him one of the daughters of Putiel to be his woman, and she bore him Pinchas. These are the heads of the fathers of the Leviim, according to their families, so the Levites. These are that Aaron and Moshe, to whom Yahuwah said, "Bring out the children of Yasharel from the land of Mitzrayim, according to their armies." These are they which spoke to Pharaoh king of Mitzrayim, to bring out the children of Yasharel from Mitzrayim. These are that Moshe and Aaron. Okay, so we're looking at the generation of the Levites. So one tribe. This is one of the tribes, okay? And it came to pass, verse 28, and it came to pass on the day when Yahuwah spoke unto Moshe in the land of Mitzrayim, that Yahuwah spoke unto Moshe, saying, I am Yahuwah, speak you unto Pharaoh, king of Mitzrayim, all that I say unto you. And Moshe said before Yahuwah, Behold, I am of uncircumcised lips, and how shall Pharaoh hearken unto me? Chapter 7. And Yahuwah said unto Moshe, See, I have made you an Elohim to Pharaoh, and Aaron your brother shall be your prophet. You shall speak all that I command you, and Aaron your brother shall speak unto Pharaoh, that he sends the children of Yasharel out of his land. And I will harden Pharaoh's heart, and multiply my signs and my wonders in the land of Mitzrayim. But Pharaoh shall not hearken unto you, that I may lay my hand upon Mitzrayim, and bring forth my armies, and my people, the children of Yasharel, out of the land of Mitzrayim by great judgments. And the Mitzrayim shall know that I am Yahuwah, when I stretch forth my hand upon Mitzrayim, and bring out the children of Yasharel from among them. And Moshe and Aaron did as Yahuwah commanded them, so did they. And Moshe was 80 years old, and Aaron 83 years old, when they spoke unto Pharaoh. I had not mentioned this before, but for those of you who may not know of what 80 or what 80 means, a score represents 20 years in the Bible. So 80, it's 4 times 20, means 80. So Moshe was 80 years old, he was 80 years old, and Aaron was 83 years old, so Aaron was 83 years old, when they spoke unto Pharaoh. Verse 8. And Yahuwah spoke unto El Moshe and El Aaron, saying, When Pharaoh shall speak unto you, saying, Show a miracle for you, then you shall say unto El Aaron, Take your rod, and cast it before Pharaoh, and it shall become a dragon. And Moshe and Aaron went in unto Pharaoh, and they did so as Yahuwah had commanded. And Aaron cast down his rod before Pharaoh, and before his servants, and it became a dragon. Now, reading the KJV, we'll say a serpent, some type of snake. Let's just remember that the serpent beguiled Eve, and the dragon represents Satan in Revelation. So, keep that in mind. Verse 11. Then Pharaoh also called the wise men and the sorcerers. Now the magicians of Mitzrayim, they also did in like manner with their enchantments. For they cast down every man his rod, and they became dragons. But Aaron's rod swallowed up their rods. So, can magicians perform magic? Absolutely. But we are not to practice that. Verse 13. And he hardened Pharaoh's heart, that he hearkened not unto them, as Yahuwah had said. And Yahuwah said unto Moshe, Pharaoh's heart is hardened, he refuses to let the people go. Get you unto Pharaoh in the morning. Lo, he goes out unto the water, and you shall stand by the river's brink against he come. And the rod which was turned to a serpent shall you take in your hand. And you shall say unto him, Yahuwah Elohai of the Ivriim has sent me unto you, saying, Let my people go, that they may serve me in the wilderness. And behold, hitherto you would not hear, Thus says Yahuwah, in this you shall know that I am Yahuwah. Behold, I will smite with the rod that is in my hand upon the waters which are in the river, and they shall be turned to blood. And the fish that is in the river shall die, and the river shall sink, and the Mitzrayim shall loathe to drink of the water of the river. And Yahuwah spoke unto Moshe, say unto Aaron, take your rod and stretch out your hand upon the waters of Mitzrayim, upon their streams, upon their rivers, and upon their ponds, and upon all their pools of water, that they may become blood, and that there may be blood throughout all the land of Mitzrayim, both in vessels of wood and in vessels of stone. And Moshe and Aaron did so, as Yahuwah commanded. And he lifted up the rod and smote the waters that were in the river, in the sight of Pharaoh, in the sight of his servants. And all the waters that were in the river were turned to blood. And the fish that was in the river died, and the river stank. And the Mitzrayim could not drink of the water of the river. And there was blood throughout all the land of Mitzrayim. And the magicians of Mitzrayim did so with their enchantments. And Pharaoh's heart was hardened, neither did he hearken unto them, as Yahuwah had said. And Pharaoh turned and went into his house, neither did he set his heart to this also. And all the Mitzrayim dug round about the river for water to drink, for they could not drink of the water of the river. And 7 days were fulfilled. After that, Yahuwah had smitten the river. 7 days. Chapter 8. And Yahuwah spoke unto Moshe, go unto Pharaoh, and say unto him, thus says Yahuwah, let my people go, that they may serve me. And if you refuse to let them go, behold, I will smite all your borders with frogs. So the plagues have started with the blood in the water. Okay, now we're on to frogs. Verse 3, and the river shall bring forth frogs abundantly, which shall go up and come into your house, and into your bedchamber, and upon your bed, and into the house of your servants, and upon your people, and into your ovens, and into your kneading troughs. Try baking bread with frogs in your kneading trough. And the frogs shall come up both on you and upon your people, and upon all your servants. And Yahuwah spoke unto El Moshe, say unto El Aaron, stretch forth your hand with your rod over the streams, and over the rivers, and over the ponds, and cause the frogs to come up upon the land of Mitzrayim. And Aaron stretched out his hand over the waters of Mitzrayim, and the frogs came up and covered the land of Mitzrayim. And the magicians did so with their enchantments, and brought up the frogs upon the land of Mitzrayim. Then Pharaoh called for Moshe and Aaron, and said, entreat El Yahuwah, that he may take away the frogs from me, and from my people, and I will let the people go, that they may do sacrifice unto Yahuwah. And Moshe said unto Pharaoh, glory over me, when shall I entreat for you, and for your servants, and for your people, to destroy the frogs from you and your houses, that they may remain in the river only? And he said, tomorrow. And he said, be it according to your word, that you may know that there is none like unto Yahuwah Eloheinu. And the frogs shall depart from you, and from your houses, and from your servants, and from your people. They shall remain in the river only. And Moshe and Aaron went out from Pharaoh, and Moshe cried unto El Yahuwah because of the frogs which he had brought against Pharaoh. And Yahuwah did according to the word of Moshe. And the frogs died out of the houses, out of the villages, and out of the fields. And they gathered them together upon heaps, and the land stank. But Pharaoh saw that there was respite. He hardened his heart, and hearkened not unto them, as Yahuwah had said. And Yahuwah said unto El Moshe, say unto El Aaron, stretch out your rod, and smite the dust of the land, that it may become lice throughout all the land of Mitzrayim. And they did so. For Aaron stretched out his hand with his rod, and smote the dust of the earth, and it became lice in man, and in beast. All the dust of the land became lice throughout all the land of Mitzrayim. And the magicians did so with their enchantments to bring forth the lice, but they could not. So there were lice upon man and upon beast. Then the magicians said unto Pharaoh, This is the finger of Elohim. And Pharaoh's heart was hardened, and he hearkened not unto them, as Yahuwah had said. So now here's the first time the magicians, they can't replicate this. And they say they have to concede and admit, this is Yahuwah, the one true El. And Yahuwah, verse 20, and Yahuwah said unto Moshe, Rise up early in the morning, and stand before Pharaoh. Lo, he comes forth to the water, and say unto him, Thus says Yahuwah, Let my people go, that they may serve me. Else, if you will not let my people go, behold, I will send swarms of flies upon you, and upon your servants, and upon your people, and into your houses, and the houses of the Mitzrayim shall be full of swarms of flies, and also the ground whereon they are. And I will sever in that day the land of Goshen, in which my people dwell, that no swarms of flies shall be there, to the end you may know that I am Yahuwah in the midst of the earth. And I will put a division between my people and your people. Tomorrow shall this sign be. And Yahuwah did so, and there came a grievous swarm of flies into the house of Pharaoh, and into his servants' houses, and into all the land of Mitzrayim. The land was corrupted by reason of the swarm of flies. And Pharaoh called for Moshe and for Aaron, and said, Go you, sacrifice to your Elohim in the land. And Moshe said, It is not meet so to do so. It is not meet so to do. For we shall sacrifice the abomination of the Mitzrayim to Yahuwah Eloheinu. Lo, shall we sacrifice the abomination of the Mitzrayim before their eyes? And will they not stone us? We will go 3 days' journey into the wilderness and sacrifice to Yahuwah Eloheinu as he shall command us. And Pharaoh said, I will let you go, that you may sacrifice to Yahuwah Elohika in the wilderness. Only you shall not go very far away. Entreat for me. And Moshe said, Behold, I go out from you, and I will entreat El Yahuwah, that the swarm of flies may depart from Pharaoh, from his servants, and from his people, tomorrow. But let not Pharaoh deal deceitfully any more in not letting the people go to sacrifice to Yahuwah. So Moshe said, You've already gone back on your word, so let this not be another form of deceit. But I will go to the Most High and speak on your behalf. Verse 30, And Moshe went out from Pharaoh and entreated Yahuwah. And Yahuwah did according to the word of Moshe. And he removed the swarms of flies from Pharaoh. From his servants, from his people, there remained not one. And Pharaoh hardened his heart at this time also, neither would he let the people go. That is the end of chapter 8. Psalms. Tehilliym, chapter 15, a Mizmor of David. Yahuwah, who shall abide in your tabernacle? Who shall dwell in your holy hill? He that walks uprightly and works righteousness and speaks the truth in his heart. He that backbites not with his tongue, nor does evil to his neighbor, nor takes up a reproach against his neighbor, in whose eyes a vile person is contemned. But he honors them that fear Yahuwah. He that swears 7 oaths to his own hurt, and changes not. He that puts not out his money to usury, nor takes reward against the innocent. He that does these things shall never be moved. Hallelujah. Praise Yah. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for watching. All praise to the Most High Yah in the name of the only begotten Son, Yahawashah Yahusha HaMashiach, and in the Holy Spirit, the Ruach HaKodesh. Thank you. May this be a blessing to you. And Yah willing, I will see you tomorrow. Stay prayed up. Keep your eyes focused on the Most High and the Word. Shalom.